Hey everyone, welcome to our team call. Today is Tuesday, March 21st. I always have to look at my phone because I have no idea what the date is. Thank you for joining us for our bi-weekly team call. Today we have guest speaker Kyla, and we met on a diamond mastermind call. So if you guys don't know, once you become a diamond coach, corporate kind of intervenes and places you in these different groups so that you can learn from each other and grow from each other, and it's pretty awesome because then you get to meet all of these different people. And when she did a call for our diamond group, I loved her energy because it's so similar to a lot of ours, and she says some bad words, so I feel like we connected right then and there. So anyway, her topic when we did the diamond call was about recruitment and how she goes about sharing almost daily, I feel like, how coaching is involved in her life. And that is one thing that Bonnie Engel, who is in the top 10 of our coaches, that's how she started her business, and that's why it skyrocketed so fast. So I just wanted her to come and talk to you guys about the recruitment thing and how to talk about coaching in everyday scenarios, because there's a million different ways to talk about coaching. It doesn't always have to be this long, drawn out, crazy kind of a thing. There's a million different ways you can go about it. So I'm going to let her take it away, and I'm going to then finish my post-workout salad.
You eat, girl. You go ahead and you eat. Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be on here. This is actually my first time, guest speaking on, a team call. So I'm super, super excited. I'm really nervous, too. So sometimes when I get really nervous, I get really excited. So I am that person. So I apologize every time. But a little background on me. I have been coaching. I signed up as a coach in November of 2014. I said no to my coach 6 times before actually saying yes, because I had every excuse in the book. I was planning a wedding. I worked full time. I didn't need another job. Legit, I was and Shakeology was scam. No. I was that person. We bootlegged the Beachbody workouts for a good few years before I even signed up. It's so bad to admit, but it's true. And then I didn't do anything with my business until January of 2016. So last year. I basically sat around for a year and a half and said that I was all into my coach, and basically just didn't do anything. I didn't do any vitals. I didn't read. I didn't reach out to people. I had the people are going to come to me mentality, which, Lord, don't ever don't get stuck into that bubble. Because in the first month that I signed up, legit everybody was like, what are you doing? What's this? What are you talking about? And I was that gross person that put stock photos out and was like, I'm doing 21-day fix. So gross. So yeah, I didn't start going all in until last January. And that was the year that I was like, I'm done with my job. I worked there for 10 years. I worked 11 to 12-hour days, no breaks. It was a decent job. I felt trapped. My anxiety was getting worse. I suffer with OCD, so that was getting really bad in the office because obviously you can't control other people. So yeah, I went all in, and then I made a goal to quit my job in September. And I did that. I quit on September 29th, I think. So my last day was in October, but
that was still my birthday.
What did I notice? And it was a really hard decision. My husband really helped me kind of make that decision, because I was like, I can't, I'm not making the same as I'm making there. I definitely took a hit income wise, but it was okay because I knew that I was going to work up to that. Anyways, my upline sponsor is Keith Callahan. I don't know if you know who he is. If you don't, that's totally fine. He made it into the Millionaires Club in 3 years. He's insane. And he is solely talk about the coaching opportunity all of the time. That's how he runs his business. And it's gotten him really far. He's always built for income, not rank. So that's kind of where like this all stems from for me. Like it's not necessarily how I was taught, but it's how I was inspired. So watching him, seeing the success he had, like he got to take a whole year off, like not off, he still worked his business, but like he didn't have to try and work as hard for a whole year because he built himself up to that. And I was like, good Lord, like who on earth gets to take an entire year off from their job in general, like any job? Like that just doesn't happen. So I was super inspired by him, and I was like, I'm going to do basically whatever he's doing because that's what I want. So I've never been super into, like, obviously building rank is awesome and getting to diamond is like huge, but I've never been like, I want to be 15-star diamond. I want to do that. Like I'd be happy at a 5-star, like millionaires club. Like that's what I built in. And the way I was taught is you want to find 5 of you. Those people want to find 5 of them, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of how so like you want to get to, in a nutshell, like you'd want to get to 5-star and you'd want to have 5 stars underneath you. And you'd like, that's how it works. Segue, coaching opportunity. Let's talk about it. I talk about it on the daily, almost every single day. There are some days that I don't, but for the most part, I talk about it every single day because that's the part of this that has changed my life. I got to quit my job of 10 years. Like that's a long freaking time. And I didn't really have this huge transformation physically because I've always been kind of petite. I drank a lot when I was 21 and up until I was 27. So that's really where the weight came from. It wasn't anything like crazy. So I don't have this huge physical transformation. So for me, it's been more of like a mental transformation and a life transformation. And that's what I talk about. So I'm just going to give out some like top tips of what really helped me kind of talk about it a lot because I feel like the things that I've learned are kind of helpful. So the first thing that I learned very, very quickly is to not invite just anyone. So this could be when you're posting, when you're messaging, when you're whatever. You don't want to be talking to Joe Schmo over there who, likes hot dogs and whatever. If maybe you're vegan and you don't eat hot dogs. Like, why would you reach out to that person? So you want to create your brand and you want to make sure that you're not wasting the time with the people that aren't part of your brand. And I'm not talking challengers. Like, I believe in the vital process and I know it's there for a reason. And I'm not saying you should just ignore challenge groups or whatever. Like, no, this is on top of what you're already doing. I just want to make that kind of a good point because I didn't say that last call and I think a lot of people were confused. Like, do you even invite challenge groups? I'm like, yes, I do. I promise I do. So this is on top of what you're already doing for the vital process. So anyways, back to that. So find your brand. That can be really hard, especially when you're growing as a person and you're not really quite sure who you are. One of the things that really helped me, I watched a video. I honestly don't remember which coach it was. It was on YouTube. And she did a little exercise from Pinterest, which was really cool. So you build like your own little Pinterest board, and anything that's like, if you guys are familiar with Pinterest, you have like that home screen. So like anything that pops up on that home screen that you enjoy or that attracts it to you or whatever, you pin to that me board. And eventually you're going to like notice a kind of trend going on there. Like maybe it's a lot of blues, or maybe it's a lot of beach stuff, or maybe you really like tattoos, or I really like dinosaurs, if you couldn't tell my shirt. And my team name is the Dino Dynasty. So it's like I built my brand off of that, and I have like coaches that are literally just like me. It's quite weird and amazing at the same time. So build your brand, find out your niche, and keep your blinders on. Like, you don't want to be like someone else, just because someone else builds, like my coach, Haley, she loves pizza. She talks about pizza all the time. Pizza this, pizza that. And like, she's literally known for it, that people tag her in pizza stuff literally all of the time. And that's the kind of what you want. Like, you want to be solid in what you are. Like I said, it takes a long time to get there, but that helps you build who you want to talk to. And it makes the conversation a lot easier. You know that feeling when you start a conversation with someone and you're like, you are my vibe. Like we get along. Like it's instant. It's not forced. It's not like, God, they're giving me one-word answers. Like, what's this? Like, when you have someone. And it could be a challenger that you've already been talking to for a while, or it could be a random ad on Facebook. Like, you just didn't know. And it just makes it so much easier. So that's kind of my first tip. Find you, which is the biggest thing possible, I feel like. And that takes time. It's not something that you're going to be like, I did my Pinterest board and I know who I am. Like, no, you have to do personal development and all that shit, obviously, on top of it. My second tip is to have resources to give people when you are talking about the coaching opportunity. This is huge. Like, this is a game changer when you're talking to people in private messaging about coaching, because you want to be able to, you don't want to word vomit on them. Like that. Imagine if you got this message that was this long, you'd be like, I am not reading that. Like, no. And you'd read the first sentence and be like, what? What are you saying? What's rank? What's this? I don't know. So for our team, we do a sneak peek every single month. I don't know if you guys do that too. I'm sure you have some sort of resource that your team uses. Like I said, we use a sneak peek. So, and it's ongoing. So it can be like, hey girl, I don't know if you've ever thought about, doing what I'm doing. This is totally not something I would say, but you get the gist. Let me add you into this sneak peek. It has videos in there. You can check it all about, and I'll check in with you in a few days. It's got everything in there, like how we make money, what a coach isn't, all that fun stuff. So you having stuff like that, having YouTube videos you can send them is really helpful. If there's one that describes coaching opportunity to you, to a T, and how you would explain it to someone, send them the video. Don't take the time to type it all out to them. Just be like, hey, check out this video real quick. It's amazing. I think you'll really vibe with this chick, and let me know what you think. My upline coach, Keith, he does a business podcast, and he's done a series on Beachbody and the coaching opportunity itself. So there's those. I haven't used those in a long time because we use the sneak peek, but if people are into podcasts, you never know. They're good if you're just listening, if you're folding laundry or whatever. If you have a busy mom, you can be like, hey, check this out, blah, blah, blah. So having something that you can send them so you don't have to word vomit on them is basically everything. And it makes the conversation so much easier, because I feel like a lot of times we get overexcited, or we get maybe too nervous, and we're like, I don't know what to say, and you might word it in a way that's maybe not what you wanted to, and you go back and read it and you're like, oh, why? This takes that out of it. You just hey, check out the sneak peek. It's all there for you in a bow. Have it. So that's why we use it. It's amazing. And then this is the big one, is talk about it every single day. So I know coaching has changed your life in one way or another. You have to share your story. And I know you hear that legit all the time. Yes, I'm sharing my story. Yes, I'm sharing my story. But share your story. Do it every single day. And you don't have to do this huge long post about it all of the time. I like to put those out there. I have oh my God, what's that book called? I forget what it's called, but it's the long, short. Oh, jab, jab, cross. I was like, it's something court of force. Yeah. So I like to do a short one, not on the same day, obviously. One day do a shorter one, and then hit them with a long one, and then a shorter one, and a long one. So for example, I really wanted to be home with my dog, because I don't have kids. My dog is my child. So I'm I'll do a post about a picture of her, and I'm I finally get to be home with her. She doesn't have to be stuck in a crate for 12 hours a day, or, she wasn't stuck in a crate, but that kind of thing. If you have kids, oh my God, I got to go on a field trip today with my kid because I got to, take this time off because I have money to supplement from the coaching opportunity, blah, blah. however it works into you, you have to be sharing stuff like that all of the time. If you want to attract business builders, you can't just talk about challenge groups. It's just not like you have to post about what you want to attract. And again, let me just like side note that I do believe in the vital process. Do this on top of what you're already doing. But yeah, just do small things like that and then hit them with like a long story. So tonight my Transformation Tuesday is I haven't posted it yet, but it's going to be about my last day, like before I quit, and then how I am now. So it can be something like that. It can be how the income has changed your life. I mean, you guys all know this. I feel like I don't have to like go into crazy detail, but I feel like sharing it in those little ways, because Facebook, your post gets slid down in the news feed. You could post something and then 2 seconds later, it's like, boom, down at the bottom. So you have to be sharing those things all the time, because people maybe didn't see it the first time, and now they're seeing it. So I talk about how I quit my job probably because you're constantly adding people to your network. Most of the people on your newsfeed probably didn't even see the post the first time, that kind of thing. So yeah, short, long. That's like my good advice for the post. And again, make it whatever it is to you. You have your own individual story, and you have to share it that way. You can take inspiration from other coaches, obviously. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. If you see something that somebody else posted and you really like it, then make it into your own, but share your story. Don't share theirs. 100%, like, embrace you for sure. And then stay consistent. Honestly, that's like the big thing. I'm reading the Go for No book for network marketing right now, because I just came up with a new one. Or I don't know if it's new, but it's not the original Go for No. It's another one. It's specifically for network marketing. And they were talking this morning when I was reading this morning. Not talking. When I was reading this morning, because it's a book, you read it. They were talking about how important it is, and I feel like we all know this, but like, you have to stay consistent even through the hard stuff. I always like to use Bonnie Engel as an example for this. She had a horrific past 6 months with what she went through with her dogs and moving across country, and a few other things that were going on with her, and she posted through all of that. And the month that her dog passed away, she hit the highest success club that she's hit all year long. You have to post through the hard shit, and you have to post about the hard shit, and you have to be consistent about it. So whatever, like, they were National Wake Up Call, Monday, shine a light on those gremlins and be consistent with it. Don't do it every day, obviously, but maybe every 2 weeks. Whatever's really hard for you, whatever's really difficult for you to talk about that, because people are going to relate to you, and that builds coaches on its own. Those conversations open up a whole new world. I can't tell you how many people I have talked to about OCD and my anxiety and like that kind of thing, because I post about it. It's not comfortable. I don't like talking about how I have an obsession like disorder. It's not something I want to talk about. But if it helps someone else, then so be it. You have to shine a light on them and be as consistent as possible. As far as messaging goes and like talking about it in there, honestly, for me, it was just hit send. As scary as it is, people aren't that rude. Like, I've never had someone being like, bitch, how dare you message me about this coaching opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Like, people just aren't like that. Maybe they'll say no. Good. Going for no is a good thing. But maybe it will open up a whole conversation that you weren't even thinking about having with this person. Like, you have to talk about it all the time. Just don't be scared. Like, honestly, just hit send. That's it. Like, just be brave and be boop, done. Put your phone down, ignore it, whatever. Don't message back right away. That seems desperate. Let it sit for a little while, then right back to them. I was a big, I did that a lot when I was first starting out. I was like,
I feel like we all have.
So excited, blah, blah. But then you just seem like too eager. When it's like a minute apart and you're like, hi, I already have my book written out for you. Here you go. Be patient, stay focused, stay consistent, and just hit send. Like, imagine if whoever your coach is, Sam, I don't know your success partner's name, I'm sorry. But
Brittany.
Brittany, thank you. I was like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Imagine if they kept the opportunity in their mouth and they never reached out to you about it. Where would you be? Like, where would you be? Would you not have the income? Would you not have the confidence? Would you not have this huge vision in your life? Like, where would you be? And think about how if you don't hit send, you're keeping it in your mouth. Like, you're not helping that person. And maybe it's not maybe it takes a year for them to say yes. Girl, you keep track of those people because they will come around. And if they don't, shit, you just made a good new friend. Like, cool. Who doesn't love new friends, right? That's why we're in this business. You make friends first and then hopefully get some coaches out of it.
Loved it.
I think that was kind of all I really had to say, unless you guys have questions. I always like to keep my messages super simple. Like, I don't really have these crazy scripts that I use. It's honestly just like, dude, I think you're perfect. Let's talk about it. And if they say no, they say no. If they're like, well, I don't know much about it, sneak peek, there you go. Or if they have a few simple questions I can answer, I'll do that. But I just like to keep it as simple as possible. So far, that's worked for me pretty well. Like, my entire downline is mostly coaches, not challengers. Now, that's a whole nother thing. You guys have to know this about me. I'm not good about, getting challengers. So if you are good at that, don't take this as like, girl, she's good at everything. Like, no, I suck at Success Club. And I suck at getting challengers. I'm just happened to be really good about talking about the business opportunity. It's just what works for me. So keep your blinders on. Like, don't compare yourself to anyone else's journey, because I feel like we get stuck in that way too much. You see somebody's rank or Success Club points and you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Well, you find your strength and just go with it.
We did a great call earlier this month about the money part of Beachbody and how rank isn't tied to money. So yeah. I feel like everybody here kind of understands that now if they were on that call, because I think we all have that misconception when we sign up. They're like, oh my God, they're like this, so they must be making bank. And it's like, no, they're really not. And like somebody who's a lower rank is making way more money than them. It's just the way your businesses are set up. So yeah, I think that we all understand that now.
I 100% agree. You could be hitting success. You could be a diamond and you could have someone that's hitting Success Club 30. The diamond could be making more money than someone who's hitting 30. It's just who you have under you. Do you have active coaches or not? And again, like I said, I just really have to put this out there. The vital process is there for a reason. Challengers become amazing coaches. So don't steer away from that. They put it in place for a reason. Getting challengers is a huge thing, and I'm working on it myself. I need, that's my biggest thing for this year. I'm I need good challengers. And so, we all have our stuff that we need to work on for sure. But talk about it more. Talk about, if you're not sure how to talk about it either, ask your coach. Or me, I'm here for questions too.
I have Anybody have any questions?
I do.
I figured Nicole would. Yeah.
I love questions.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, we're actually kind of doing a little group right now, and we're reading Jab, Jab, Right Hook. And right now it's about the coaching opportunity. And what I find that I struggle the most with are the jabs about coaching. You were able to quit a job. And so that's a huge thing for people to recognize, because who hates going and clocking in every single day and requesting time off. From somebody who stayed at home and decided to coach, what do you have any suggestions of like other ways to throw those jabs out there that might be beneficial, since I can't say, oh, you know, I quit my job, because I was a stay-at-home mom prior to coaching.
Right. So I would say wherever, like whatever your vision is for where you want to be with this business is how you post about it. So, I mean, I obviously don't know much about you, but say you're like, one of your visions is to go on like a huge family vacation, then you can talk about how that is, you know, what you're working towards, and, you know, that this coaching opportunity is going to help pay for that huge family vacation. And don't you want that for your family? Like, you know, that kind of thing. That was just an example that, I mean, you can
that's great.
into everything. You know, whatever your vision is, maybe it's to bring a spouse home, or have your spouse work the business. Rock on to you, by the way. I see
Ryan.
you.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I saw your video. I was like, yes!
She even sent me a message and was like, that's so badass.
I love it. I'm so excited. So whatever it is, you know, for me right now, like my long-term vision is to bring my husband home. I mean, to whatever that means to him, but obviously that's a whole other thing. But like, that's my vision right now. So I'm talking about it. I already quit my job, and I can talk about that, but I do have to talk about other things too. So I talk about how that's thing. We want to move. We want to move to a warmer climate. So I'll talk about that. Whatever you have in your sight, and you should have a vision board. I hope you do. Whatever that is, that's how you talk about it. And it could be little things, like you paid for the, you know, you were able to pay for groceries, or you paid for gas, or you were able to put extra down on your car payment. Like, that's
I remember a wake-up call like years ago, like probably before you were even a coach, Kyla, that the girl that had did it said that she just did this quick little jab, and that's how I first heard about that book. And all she said was, paid my electric bill, thanks Beachbody. That was it. And she had like 50 people like commenting, what do you mean? Like, and asking her all these questions about like, what do you mean you paid your electric bill? And that was just a one-liner, like, you know what I mean? So there's like a million ways. This might be personal, Nicole, but like, to do this coaching, then did you do it because you needed extra money, or you just wanted it?
At first it was the accountability. But once I kind of learned more about the coaching opportunity, was seeing Brittany's jabs about her income, was when I really decided it. And then the day I became a coach, I told Zach that I wanted to retire him. But I'm thinking
There
like
you go.
vacation is a little more short term.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we put a Disney movie on and the castle comes up and it's like Walt Disney, Ellie's like, making money, go in the castle, because says I have to make money so we can go in the castle. So I could somehow put that in as more of like a short-term thing. Yes, my long-term is to bring my husband home. But I liked your idea, like with the family vacation. It's short-term, and it's a little more, it seems more realistic for somebody, you know, who's either staying at home or wants to come home.
And definitely though, talk about wanting to bring Zach home though, like for the long term. You don't have to talk about it every day or every week, but every once in a while, you know, throw that in there. Like, this is also what I'm working on. You know what I mean? Like, because we want to raise our family together, or, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be too, like, you can be repetitive, but you don't want to be repetitive, like, all the time. So you're not going to do, every coach post isn't going to be about bringing your husband home. Like, you have to find the little things within that. And it's hard when you're like, I don't really know, like, what, but honestly, the smallest thing, like, even if you got a $14 check, you can be like, shit, that went to, I don't know, my dog's medication for the month, or new toy for my kid, or sports. I don't have kids, so I can't. Oh my God, I know that's not going to cover sports, but you know what I mean? Like, to the movies, I was able to take my, kid to the movies, like, stuff like that. It's honestly can be the smallest thing, but it grabs people's attention.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because you're not where you want to be yet. So you have to kind of like build this vision for where you're going. You know what I mean? And because once you're there, it's really easy to talk about, I make all this money, I get to do this, I get to do that. So like, you kind of have to build where you want to be someday, you know, and then because people are going to want to join you on that vision because maybe that's what they want to. And they don't know how to go after it because the economy sucks and, you know, that kind of stuff. So
I always like to throw like little things at the bottom, like, oh, you don't believe me? Watch me in 5 years. And people will watch you that long.
mm-hmm.
Like like, or watch me in 6 months, see what I've like, you know, I say I'm going to do this, check back with me in 6 months and see if I'm doing it. And people will follow you that long. And once you hit that, they're going to be like, all right, I'm in. Yep. It can take.
Patty Hobbs talks about that, how he was following his coach for a long time. And then when Lindsay Matway posted about being on the Success Club trip, he signed up when they came back because he wanted the trip. He didn't want anything else. He wanted the trip. So, and like, even for me, when I posted about, I don't even think it was Punta Cana. I think it was being able to register for Mexico and getting that opportunity. I had somebody message me that has been clearly watching what I'm doing. And she was like, so I've seen you do a lot with this business over the last 3 years. And I'm like, okay, so she even knows how long I've been doing this. Like, you know what I mean? So like they watch a lot closer than you think.
It's true. That's why you have to be consistent. 100%. I always like to ask, like, to help with my posts. I put this in the last call and I have to say, but like, you can ask yourself the questions, and you kind of touched on it, Sam, like where have you been, or help you plan out your weekly posts if you're more of a planner for the week. So when I was working full time, it was really hard for me to, like, I was working 12 hours. So I posted probably twice a day, and those questions helped guide me of like where I want it. So you can kind of keep those in mind too.
Love it. Does anyone else have any questions? Well, we got her. Nothing. Sleepy. Is that what it is?
I love questions.
I know, right? I'm like, well, I feel like you're a talker like me, so.
Right. Once I get going, I'm good. But like the leading up to it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Now I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, if no one else has any more questions, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for this call. I feel like I got a lot out of this. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed it. And you'll do great on all of your future calls that you'll be able to do with every other team, because I feel like you should definitely put yourself out there to do more, because you did great.
Oh, thank you. It is my goal to do more this year. So
yes, perfect. Well, thank you again. And you guys all have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.